All right, let's try it again. Hopefully we can get it sorted out. I'm gonna do my sharing thing. Share in worldwide. Hello, Mike. Here we are again. Robert. There we are. Okay. Oops, bad. Okay.
There we go. Now I got both of us.
Hello. Can you see? Okay, I'm just
Yep.
sharing it in worldwide. Round 2. Give me 1 second. We'll get some more people back on here, hopefully.
Here, let's see. People are gonna be like, "Oh my God, what was wrong with your mom?" But like, there's a picture right here, so I may as well. I don't know if I can get it off the computer screen without messing it up. So this is my brother and I. How old? My brother had to have been 3 or 4, and
Yeah.
we're 11 months apart from each other. So you're gonna get this gem right now, just because Carla's working
Oh,
on her sharing stuff, and I don't, whatever. I guess a little self-deprecation is never bad. So like, here you go. This is a Halloween picture from a long, long time ago. So I'm in red, and my brother is in blue.
oh my.
Yeah, and it's like, Ma,
Are
Ma.
you, what are you dressed
Ma, we're
as?
supposed to be like Mickey Mouse or something like that. And it's
Oh,
like, what were you thinking, Mom?
that
Should
was
have
a
seen my
very
hair, the
mass,
glasses.
very
Oh,
masculine
my
costume.
mom would be like, it was the style back then. And I'm like, that could have never possibly been a style.
Oh my God. Those were
Oh, man.
like back, yeah, I had a costume, I think in about grade 2, and it was, I think I was Daffy Duck. So it was like those hard plastic masks that you couldn't breathe out of. And my mom
Right.
made me wear rubber gloves on my feet as like for duck feet. It was
Oh,
so bad, but yes. Hmm.
yeah, that's what every kid wants to hear is, I think we're going to make your costume this year. And they're like,
Right. Oh, good.
yeah, I'm not going to school.
Yeah, I
Not
think I
going to
feel
school that
sick.
day. So, where I guess we're about
Okay,
to get
you were gonna
into,
start
yeah. So,
talking about the
um,
good stuff.
well, through you know, some of the, I guess, sponsorships, and just people that
Hmm.
have supported us. Um, we're always looking to harbor growth for the industry, and you'll hear Bill in some of the videos that we'll be putting up sooner than later,
Hmm.
but there has been tremendous growth on the contractor side of the spray foam business.
Hmm.
And while there's been steady growth on the consumer side of the business, I don't necessarily think that um, the consumer growth has quite matched the explosion that we've seen um, on the contracting side. So
Hmm.
that's one area that we really think that we can help out with is growing that consumer side of the business,
Hmm.
because if an industry is going to grow, you need growth on the contractor side. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's not
Yeah.
necessarily a bad thing that we're seeing all the growth that we are. It's that we want to make sure that the consumer growth grows at least close to the same rate that the growth you're seeing in contractors. So what we've kind of taken upon ourselves is to find ways to communicate and reach the consumer. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
Hmm.
And obviously social media is an easy way to do that. We have a bunch of other ideas too, but
Yeah.
if you saw in Bill's video the other day, and
Hmm.
Ken Wells and Bill really like bit down hard into this kind of like a promotional video that I guess I'll just drop like a little. Um, it's like not like a little bit of an overview on foam, but really it's kind of like a what to expect when you're expecting, almost kind of like
Gotcha.
the myths of spray foam and things that
Mm.
things that the
Mm-hmm.
average person, that if you or anyone is kind of like in that phase of like, I want to insulate my attic, or we're seeing,
Yeah.
there's a barn dominium group that a lot of guys are a part of now, and like every day there's got to be 5 questions about spray foam.
Mm.
So people are asking about it. They
Yeah.
are, but um, they need to be able to access the right information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're trying to kind of like give some the people in the group the ability to tap that information, because let's be real, the average contractor doesn't have 15 grand or 50 grand to sink into a promotional video that he's going to try to
Right.
blast out to 10 million people.
Yeah.
Um, but the average contractor would be behind that idea if they were going to be able to access that information and utilize
Right.
that themselves,
Yes.
and kind of do that for everyone. So the content that you're going to be seeing um, is the kind of stuff that, let's say Dave from last week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Dave's a contractor. So Dave will be able to use these videos that would basically, the one that we're going to be releasing can actually be split up into about 5 different videos.
Right.
We'll release into the group the full video so everybody can see, everything that's been done. But the way that it was done was so that it can make smaller videos. And what we'd like to see happen is basically a portal that portal. You know what? I'll just give you a little taste right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there is a website under development.
Okay.
It's probably 5 to 8 weeks out from being finished. It's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Our home, Spray Foam Worldwide's home, is the internet. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that home needs to be, you know, a nice place.
Right.
And it will be something that, as a contractor, you will be able to join, and people who are part of that arm of the organization are going to have access to a lot of the stuff that we're going to be doing like this. So you'll see the video when it drops, and they did an unbelievable job on it. And then
Yeah.
to touch on something that Bill did say, we did drop little Easter eggs in the video,
Yeah.
and they're gonna do a little contest on,
Yeah.
find all the Spray Foam Worldwide logos. Now I haven't been able to find them all myself, so
Wow.
it's tricky.
Yeah.
They did a nice job hiding them, and the company that put this animation together they did a really nice job. And they covered a
Yeah.
lot of bases. There's going to be any supporting technical documentation for any of the claims made in the video will be available to people, so that just like Jennifer in Florida the other
Mm-hmm.
day was asking about the racking strength of closel, and
Right.
like, look, I tell people, but what am I supposed to give them when they ask me, like, well, all right, is there any supporting documentation for that? Well, Bill does have the supporting documentation for that, and he
Right.
sent that over to her.
Yeah.
Um, and this one's a little more serious, like
Mm-hmm.
serious in the sense that it's there's no gag to it. You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
pretty much passing along information in a fun and interesting way. But some of the things that we talked about, doing in the future, obviously are a little more fun, and we're obviously love to get anybody else's input on some ideas. But like one of the ones that we'd love to try out, which actually has nothing to do with spray foam, although we would involve spray foam with it, is to go hang out with Benji and shoot some guns. You know what I mean? And
Right.
like see
Yep.
like how much polyurea does it take to stop a bullet? And then it's like, all
Right.
right, well,
Yep.
how much does it take to stop a 22? How much does it take, you know what I mean, to stop a
Yeah.
5.56? Can you even stop a 5.56? Can you stop a
Right.
7.62? Like, let's shoot a 50 cal at 3
Yeah.
inches of roofing foam with 50 mils of polyurea on top of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of the videos that SPI has put together, one of them
Mm-hmm.
is old, but man, what a cool video it is when,
Mm-hmm.
they're setting off explosions next to buildings and, the polyurea wall deflects like 11 inches and then resets. Now,
Really?
granted, you're probably not going to live in that building anymore after that, or, maybe
Right.
you're in a war zone or something like that.
Yeah.
But guess what? You survived. You know what I mean? And then,
Yeah.
the building next to it is obliterated.
Yeah.
So we'd really like to kind of take some of these things that, um, uh, some of the anecdotes that we all like to talk about, like we want to put
Mm-hmm.
them in and show people that, like I want to go to a football game with a cooler made out of fiberglass and
Right.
see how long our cooler lasts. You know what I mean? Like, are we gonna have cold beer by the end of the game, or is it gonna be a
Right.
soupy, soppy mess of crap? And
Right.
what are you gonna do? My brother's in
Yep.
Spain. News you.
Uh-oh.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I
There you are. No,
I
you're
jumped
there.
out. My brother is watching from Salou, Spain,
Oh,
which is in what
very
is that?
cool.
Coruña, I think. He's in the Mediterranean right now. So like, I actually want to be
Very
like, dude, what the hell are you doing on Facebook when you're on the Mediterranean right now? You know what I mean? But
cool.
high
He's
five, bro. I
watching
hope you guys. I
you.
hope you. I hope you guys are all having a good time. Give Alex a big hug, and you know what I mean. Give Vanessa a kiss. Linda, tell Ed he can suck it. So, so yeah, we have some interesting things coming up. I
Yeah.
guess what else can I drop? So man, I don't know if I want to say anything. I mean,
So many things to you could little teasers.
yeah, I could like say things, but like there's certain things that like and cousin, yeah. Oh, one of our cousins out there, cousin that I don't know because we haven't seen them since we were like 4. Sorry,
Is
I
this
like to
the
have a
brother
side
that is
side
this the
conversation with my, yeah, that's the brother that's
in your picture?
in Spain right now. Yes, that
Oh
hold on.
my. Show
That
him the
brother
yeah.
is
You're
he's the
famous
blue
now, Manny.
he's the blue he's the blue one. I'm the
Wow.
red one.
Very that's a gem.
Yeah. Yeah, I said hi to Ed. I said hi to Ed.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I think what do we talked about that. I talked about the website a
I
little bit.
I
There's
think
there's certain things I'm go ahead. Do you
you
have
should
anything written
probably
down?
I have nothing written down. No.
Great minds,
Can't.
great minds.
You can't. What I think you should talk about a little bit though, aside from the teasers and all that, I think you should talk a little bit about how it goes behind the scenes for you guys, because I think people, as you know, don't understand what it takes to do the behind the scenes.
So
So
it
it gives them kind of a better idea, because they think, they see a post and they're like, how come how come you let this person in, and blah, blah. They don't understand the dynamics of it.
right. Well, I guess let's just like kind of walk through like almost like some of the features that there are as an admin or how you would go through things. So like you can set up what questions you want um, asked to people who join the group.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can imagine, it's you can't really ask that many questions that you can like super vet somebody. I mean, let's be
Right.
real. How many guys have been hired over the phone in some sense, or you meet them and they
Mm-hmm.
seem like they know what they're talking about, and you hire them, and then a month later
Yeah.
you're like, this guy doesn't know anything. You know what I
Right.
mean? That guy was right in front of your face, in front of your, you know what I mean, in your shop
Yeah.
with your gear, and you hired him. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
We have 3 questions, and you know what I mean. So like as far as like letting people into the group and stuff like that, it's real easy for people to lie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To kind of like get by, and if we do see something like that, or if it ends up being like a retail customer and stuff like that, then we'll reach out to that person and let them know that, look, this is a closed group for contractors and members of the industry. If you have a question that you want to ask, you can join this public group over here, or you can
Hmm.
ask us a question on the Spray Foam Worldwide page. Just to
Yeah.
let Joe know, yeah, we're definitely going to be in California this year, Joe. But that's something I'm not really going to get into right now because, obviously we have something up our sleeves. So,
Those sneaky
uh,
guys at
you know what I mean? Like some
SFWW.
people will be like, well,
Sneaky.
you guys never let anyone know what's going on. And it's like, why would we? You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
why are we going to tell you what we're doing until
That's
first
right.
off, you don't want to be the one who's like, talking a big game and then not deliver. So, like, a lot of
Right.
times we keep our mouths shut because we don't really know if we're going to be able to deliver on some of these things that we'd like to do.
Right.
So, it's not the only behind the scenes stuff, I guess you'd say that anyone would really, it's not that interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we have like, um, a core group of guys that will probably be growing, honestly, once the website launches.
Hmm.
There's there's going to
Yeah.
be um, it's going to be a much safer place, I guess I'll say, for some of the guys that are worried about what was seen or who's around, if a retail customer's
Oh, yeah,
there
yeah. Right.
or whatever. It's something that's going to be integrated into that is going to be some sort of message board chat portal where
Right.
members of that will have exclusive access to that. But aside from that, we have a great core group of guys that um, think ideas get bounced off of, and
Hmm.
someone kind of sees something, say something type thing. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, I don't know if that's like a letdown response,
No, I just think it's because
but
I think people when they're in groups think it's like they don't understand the time that it can take and how many
well,
of you there
it's you know
are.
what it is. It's not so much that, and I'm gonna have to really like give Bill the high five here because as far as moderating the page goes, there's
Hmm.
not a whole lot of work in moderating a Facebook group unless you have so
Right.
many people that are out of control. And I was
Right.
actually in another group, and one of the moderators was just made like a was just total flame response to something,
Yeah.
and was really kind of going after people. And just because of my experience here, I was like, listen, if you have too many people that are jerks, it's the moderator's fault. If
Right.
everything's out of control, it's the moderator's fault. Like, you're the moderator and you made this flame
Yes.
post right now. Like, this is your
Hmm.
fault. That's
Yep.
really where, but there are things obviously that go down, and conversations and emails and rigs to give away don't just materialize out of thin air.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And Bill's been a fearless general in that sense. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Where like he fully believes in what we have here, like the rest of us do. Maybe even to a degree that some don't. You know what I mean?
Right.
And because he does, he's been able to make the impossible happen. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
who else do you know has made a full gen set appear out of nowhere and end up in a rig to give away? I don't know anybody else who could make that
Right.
happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like he takes that on and he goes after those things that are impossible, and he
Hmm.
makes them possible. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's really the behind the scenes madness. The making of
Yeah.
videos. Like, after I get off the phone with you here, I have
Hmm.
some clips from him and some clips from me that I'm gonna mash up into a video to put out.
Yep.
That's going to get into kind of our anniversary and stuff like that. So there are things that, like, kind of work that gets done that obviously people don't see.
Yeah.
Um, but it's probably like anything else. A lot of times when you guys get into something, whether it's Foreman or Josh and Angie, I want to kind of throw them a shout out. Check out their new line of apparel, the Get Out Minnesota. I think that's great that they decided,
Mm.
like, you know what, we're gonna start a company. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Mm-hmm.
you do this when probably the greater percentage of the people in your life are telling you that you're stupid and that
Right.
it's not worth it. You're not going to
Mm-hmm.
make any money. You know what I mean? And for
Yeah.
some reason, in spite of all that, you do it anyway. So
Right.
like I really want to see I think their designs are really cool. I like how they're kind of doing the Minnesota thing and I appreciate that. And that's really where we're coming out of in that sense, where like 3 years in, um, you've kind of shown people that you're not going anywhere, that you're
Yes.
here, you're not going
Yeah.
anywhere, and at some level, it's safer to play ball with them, with us. You know what I'm saying? Whereas early on, there's a lot of unknown variables. You don't know the
Mm-hmm.
people. You don't know, what their intentions are. You know nothing.
Right.
So I would say the first 2 years was probably it was a lot more difficult behind the scenes stuff going on, just in the sense that, when you're the only one that believes in what you're doing, it's a lot
Mm-hmm.
harder. We didn't, it wasn't us the only ones. We had, wild support from members early on. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
that was always a help, knowing that you have this kind of crew behind you that
Right.
is down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing that we've been fortunate to have is, nothing draws a crowd like a crowd. And when you kind of have your whole team there with you, nothing can stop you.
Right.
So thank you to the guys who have been around from like early on. Tim Davis and Mohammed and Wayne
Yeah.
and Ken and Corey and
Right.
I mean, I don't. I'm just gonna stop naming names because I don't want to like forget people's names and stuff like that. Because I will forget. But like, you guys
Yeah.
know who you are. You guys know who you are. You, Mike, the Mikes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be having a coffee with Carla. Well, maybe we'd be having a coffee with
I
Carla,
don't.
but you
You
wouldn't be having it with me, probably. You know what I mean?
probably not. No, I really. I believe fully that no, it wouldn't have happened. I don't think. I don't. I don't. I'm not sure. It wouldn't have grown the way it's grown. We wouldn't have got to talk to the people that I get to talk to, and I have the privilege of people like wanting to come
I
on and
heard a
talk.
rumor. I heard a rumor that you might have maybe talked to Bill about doing this. Is that
You
something?
know, I've that has been a
I mean, if
conversation.
you're
You
watching
know,
this and you want to see a coffee with Carla with Bill,
yeah.
pound that like button. Let him know. You know
I
what I mean?
know.
You
I
gotta
think there
let Bill
better be a
know.
campaign. We're
Yeah,
going to start a
right.
campaign.
We'll do a GoFundMe to pay Bill to come
That
on and do
right?
it.
Come on,
Yeah.
Bill. We'll do the GoFundMe. No, I have asked him a couple of times, I think. Probably more than
I think
twice, but like
I think he's gonna
yeah.
be. I think actually he's gonna be ready in that sense, where like especially over the next couple weeks, there's gonna be a
Yeah.
lot to talk about and a lot to go over. So I
Right.
think sometimes people are worried about like, what are you going to talk about? You know what I mean? Like I'm great at talking.
Yes.
So like you're like, hey, you want to come talk to me and have a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Sure. You and I probably sit here
Right.
till 3 o'clock this afternoon. No one else will be
Yeah.
watching, but we'll still be
Right.
talking.
We'll just be talking. Yeah.
So
Like I said, I've got to put this natural talent to some form of good use, so why not do this? But
no, I
it's
think it's great, and I like you know um, when you're able to have someone like Terry or someone like Dave, or
yeah.
to go from a guy like Terry to a guy like Dave, and
Yeah.
Terry's down in Louisiana, Dave is up in
Mhm.
Canada, now I'm in New
Yeah.
Jersey. Somebody
Yeah.
you have next week, maybe you know what, you should maybe we'll knock on Steve Joel's door from
Right.
Wapola, UK, and he can
Yeah.
do a coffee with Carla with you, and
Oh,
then
it'd
you'll
be
be across
awesome.
the pond in the UK.
Yeah.
Maybe we have guys in Ireland and
Yeah.
just parts of the world that are like just
Mongolia.
unbelievable. That
Mhm.
Mongolia, Japan, China,
Yeah.
South America, Africa,
Like it's so
the Middle
amazing.
East, you name it. There's
Yeah.
people there. So it'd be really cool to kind of pull some of those guys into this and just
Yeah.
show like you know, you didn't even know that spray foam was in this part of the world, and
Right.
they got their own thing going out there.
I think it's important too, and it's kind of why I did start
Ken
this
Wells would be a good
platform.
one, Terry. Ken Wells would
Yeah.
be a good one. I agree.
We can't thank Ken Wells though. He doesn't want any thanks.
No thanks.
No
No
thanks.
thanks for Ken
Sorry.
Wells.
No thanks, Ken Wells. No.
Ken Wells is.
We
I've been down to work with Ken and Ken's guys before,
yeah.
and th- they're Ken is every bit who you think he is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the way he presents himself, and you know, it's not
Yeah.
like, you know, he knows how to have a good time and he knows how to joke
Yeah.
around, but like he is very much, you know, he's got my support 100%. He
Well, I'm
does, you know,
telling you, I don't
does things
it
how they need to be done, and they have a good operation going there.
and
You know,
you know, a model on the side too. It's like he's just a
yeah, cover
package. He's the package
magazine
deal.
covers,
Right?
unbelievable. Yo,
Arm wrestling
you know,
champion.
he's got a lucky
So
wife
many
there. She
things.
she doesn't know what she's got. You know, no, I think she
That's,
does. I
you
think she does.
know.
So, and his kids
It's
are awesome too. When I went down to work with him for a couple days, his kids were like, "Is he bringing his kids with him?" You know, so like,
yeah.
I think it would be fun to, like, you know, maybe we'll have to do, like, not this year, maybe next year we'll have to spend a little more time on it. But we were like kind of in a crunch this year because
Hmm.
you know, companies have their times to put their budgets together and things like that, and
Yeah.
um, so we wanted to do an event over the summer, and we actually are going to do a little something, but it's not going to be quite what we had intended. But I think it would be
Right.
awesome to do like just a family picnic somewhere central in the country, just for the weekend.
That's
Nothing like,
yeah.
you know, nothing huge, nothing crazy. Just one of those like big park charcoal barbecue. Get
Yep.
everyone together and, you know, play some
I think
badminton, some
yeah, I think
volleyball.
it's because that's the thing that I know with the like with SPFA, that is a thing that comes up a lot is people have trouble finding like maybe they don't live close to family or whatever that can help them take care of their kids. And so I know some of the wives would love to come, but
Right.
there's that like thing with, you know,
Well,
what do we
see,
do with these kids? But I
that's one of
think
the
what
things
you're
that
talking,
we've
that's awesome.
well, that see, right. And so the last couple SPFA shows, like, just take that. SPFA for
Hmm.
us, and I'm sure a lot
Yeah.
of other people, is a whirlwind. The second you get down
Yes.
there, the
Right.
second we get down there, we're going. Whether it's
Yes.
to, you know, last year was we had to go to like a drugstore. We need to pick up this stuff, and then we got to run to Guitar
Hmm.
Center. We're getting lighting. We're gonna get a smoke machine. We got to get over to here and set up. Now we
Yeah.
got to back the
It's
trailer
busy.
into here. We
Yeah.
got to set up for the. I mean, it was nonstop. But one of the things that we have talked about is the families, you know, and we
Hmm.
don't want it to be like a whirlwind. So
Right.
we would like to, you know, this year is going to be a little tricky. We'll see how people respond,
Hmm.
because Valentine's Day is
It's on
smack in
that.
the middle of the
Oh,
SPFA show. So, you
yeah.
know, my wife and I aren't huge Valentine's Day
I'm not a
people,
big,
and I
yeah,
don't
me
think a lot of
neither.
people are, but that doesn't mean that you can't do something nice for Valentine's Day, even if you're not a Valentine's Day person.
Right.
So we're kind of kicking some ideas around as to, like, how can we, you know, because it's California. If you've
Hmm.
never been to California,
Yeah.
go. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. The weather is unbelievable. People are laid back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think this kind of presents an interesting opportunity because, you know, there's I think there's a way for us to kind of to cover all bases with this
Right.
year's SPFA show. So, like, you know, maybe, like, let's plan on bringing your spouse. Maybe plan on bringing your kids, and then we'll do what we can to make sure that that basically there's stuff for them to do. You know what I
Right.
mean? We've talked about hiring professional babysitters
Yeah.
and setting up, like, let's say you're at a hotel and they have one of the
Hmm.
small convention rooms or something like that, a small conference room.
Yeah.
Well, let's wheel in, you know, a ping pong table, a pool
Right.
table. 10 video games, blah, 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 hire a
Yeah.
couple of professional babysitters, and all right, the kids are going to be taken care of for the next
That's,
3 hours.
yeah, that's what
Now
I
we can
kind of
go
said
do,
too. Like have it like an IKEA. I don't know if IKEA even still does that, but like IKEA used to have like a playroom kind of thing. So
right,
you
right.
put your kids there and away you go and shop and do your thing. Why
Well,
couldn't that be the
Disney,
same thing?
Disney does that with their cruises, you know, like if you go on a Disney
Yeah,
cruise with your family, like there's something for the kids to do almost every second
right.
of every day so that you can do your
Yeah.
thing and the kids can do their thing. So,
Everybody's happy. Yeah.
you know, and honestly, you can't say that I know my wife cannot be thrilled that like it's the middle of bone crushing cold and I'm like, hey, see ya, I'm going to 80
Right.
degrees for a week. You know what I mean?
Right.
So to make it easier for someone who might be in a similar position or whatever, we're trying to look at ways to make it easier for
Make it
you to
easier.
bring your wife with you or bring your whole family with you, and then not only do that, but then you be able to do the spray foam stuff that you want to do
Yeah.
and have stuff for them to do also,
Right.
because we know that that guys have brought their families before,
Hmm.
and you're in this tough situation between wanting to spend time with your family but be at all these other things that might be going on at
Right.
any given time. You know,
Yeah.
people tend not to go to bed early at
Right.
the show. So like that's always, tricky, and
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
looking at ways to kind of like make it more of a family experience so that
Yeah.
that people, make the effort to
Right.
go, because it is fun. And as far as the show goes, I know people will probably say, if you did the hall once, then you don't need to do it again, which I don't believe is true, because people are always coming out with new things.
Hmm.
Graco had some prototypes there this past year. Um, Accurate is kind of slowly trickling things out, and PMC has their
Yeah.
new machine, and the foam companies are always doing something new. So as far as like the tech that you're going to see, you will
Yeah.
see new stuff every year. But
Yeah.
just for anyone who hasn't gone, like you don't go there to see the hall. Like you do
Yes.
go to the hall. You go there for the relationships. You go there to talk to the people
Hmm.
from the companies, to talk to
Yeah.
your comrades from the
Yeah.
spray foam page, and kind of build relationships. So
Yeah.
just keep that in mind if anyone who sees this or whatever. I mean, there's guys who've gone and they're like, nope, I have no reason to go back again. I'm not going
Hmm.
again. And that's fine. You know what I mean? Because I also know that there's plenty of people out there that don't want to see us succeed. So
Right.
you're fine to think that.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see how that goes for you.
Yes. You do you. We'll do
Yeah, you
us.
do you.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
see what side of history everybody is on.
Right. Yeah. I think though
Um,
it's a cool way too for like when you bring in like families into it, those families can interact and connect in a way that like,
right.
wives can like, connect with each other and kids. And I just think it's like, I don't know. I just look at it as it's an all round
Well,
good thing.
when I went down to Ken's, that thought hadn't even crossed my mind. Like, I didn't even
Hmm.
think about the fact that his kids had seen my kids from the random giveaways
Right.
and videos that I'd done. So his
Yeah.
kids knew who my kids were in some
Were.
sense, and they were like,
Yes.
"Is he bringing his kids with him?" And I'm didn't
Yeah.
even think, and
Didn't
it
think
was
about
cool.
it.
And then to tell them, "Hey, this guy that I just went down to work with, his kids know who you are, and they want to hang out with you." And it's like,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I feel like a lot of this is uncharted territory in certain ways. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hmm.
But that's not a bad thing. Just so
Yeah.
go with it. Do the coffee with Carla. Go to
Yeah.
the book, the book signing, or like whatever. Like embrace
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
and don't worry about what other people are saying. Oh, that's stupid. All right, fine. Stupid to you.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah, like you're not meant to be then. So it's because I've had people comment or say to me about this platform they appreciate the fact that it's like real people, like
Right.
normal, everyday, regular people who are
Oh yeah, you
sharing
can
what,
tell it's not like
you know,
produced and
no.
that we're talking about whatever kind of comes across
Yeah.
as we're talking is what we're talking about. There is no like underlying agenda to kind of,
No.
which you can, it's
Like,
so blatantly obvious
yeah.
when kind of shows or podcasts do that kind of, as soon as they move into the sponsored content, you're like,
You know.
that
Yeah.
watch is a piece of shit, dude. You know what I mean? And
Right.
the shirt is ugly, so
It
like,
loses, to me, it kind of loses it loses the value of it a little bit. You know, I understand why people do that, obviously, but it loses that value. And I think it's important for other people to see and hear from people who are in the midst of all of it, right? Like last week in particular, with Dave sharing about his, like going through, like we were talking about, we talked everything from spray foam to adoption to, like it gives everybody, somebody else is gonna go, oh my God, like, wow, I'm going through
yeah,
that
right,
too. Or, there's
right.
that, you aren't alone. That's my, like, I really feel like, as much as there's so much bad stuff on the internet and crazy stuff, you can create a place where you don't have to be seen, but you can feel like you're a part of it and you're not
Well,
alone.
sure, and there's obviously different personality types and whatnot, and
Mm-hmm.
not everybody is the one to walk into a
No.
crowd of haters and be like, "I'm here,"
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you need people like that sometimes, because once one person sees that, hey, you know, that person and I have something in common. Well, now there's two people
Mm-hmm.
in that crowd, and then there's five
Right.
people in that crowd. And so I guess I'm going to touch on this now because we just kind of stumbled on like sponsored content or whatever, but like
Mm-hmm.
the website that you're going to be seeing soon, and some of the other things
Yeah.
that we have kind of getting ready to release, um, is not, obviously everything that we've done to this point costs money in some ways, and
Mm-hmm.
we've had the fortunate, of having companies like, Graco, and I'm not gonna run through all the rig sponsors, although maybe I should, from last year's, Bullard
Mm-hmm.
and Intech and, Next Gen, um, and that's great, and we're really grateful that they've, helped us along to this point. But, um, when you take money or equipment from somebody for something,
Mm-hmm.
they have expectations as well. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yep.
Which is part of what we were talking about, and that's what makes you question what people's motives are. If you're watching, there's these guys who build like wrecked cars on YouTube that I'll watch every once in a while.
Yeah.
And just recently, they're like, "Oh, we've been wearing this watch for the last month and blah blah blah," and I'm like, guys,
Oh no, here they go.
like you had me until the watches. So,
Mm-hmm.
I let them do their thing. The point being is that, we really want to turn to a point where where the organization is funding itself,
Right.
and we don't, not that we don't want to work with other companies and stuff like that, but that we can't be worried about what the agenda or motive of of
Mm-hmm.
10 companies is. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's
Yeah.
easy enough to work with one or two companies, but to try to like fund something that's growing to the point that this is,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not funding yourself, then you're never going to be able to do what needs to be done. You're always going to be, um, trying to kind of shuffle whatever you're doing in some way, because you can't do this because of that guy, and you should do this because of that
Right.
guy, but you can't because of this guy.
Yeah.
So, so there's going to be opportunities to do that, and, one way, I guess I'll just drop this out here now, may as well, is, Sunday advertising is
Yeah.
going away, 100%, not 100%, but
Mm-hmm.
Sunday advertising as it has been for the last 3 years
Yeah.
is going away.
Mm.
There'll be more details about that coming out probably in the next day.
Right.
And we'll do like a video on how that's going to go and whatnot. And like one of two things is going to happen. One, either there's going to be some funds coming in and people will be advertising, or you
Right.
won't see any advertising. And the
Right.
way we see that, that's a win-win right there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So companies are either going to support what we're doing or they're going to disappear. So
Yeah.
that sounds like a win to me.
I think in as me being a Sunday advertiser, you guys have given the opportunity for people to use that and get known and do those things. If they choose not to take you up on this, they're crazy.
Well, hey,
I
you know
think
what I
they're
mean?
crazy.
And this is another thing. It's really, really simple. Like Bill or me or Kevin or Matt or Mike, Jeremy, Mike, Derek, you can whoever you might feel comfortable
Mm-hmm.
talking to about this. Like
Yeah.
like if, regardless of how big your company is or small your company is or whatever, like we're all
Mm-hmm.
reasonable. You know what I mean? So
100%. Yeah.
if you feel like, whatever, maybe my personality is too big for you or whatever,
Right.
talk to Bill, send Bill a message. Or
Right.
if you don't for whatever reason feel comfortable talking to Bill,
Mm-hmm.
send Kevin a message, send Matt a
Right.
message, send me a
Yeah.
message. Like um, and stay involved because we're not going to stop. You know what I
Right.
mean? We're
Yeah.
going to keep plugging away. We're going to keep doing our thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think kind of the reason that we're doing this the way that we are is to again remind everybody that like we're not here to prop up any one company.
Right.
We're here to, our goal for this year and the immediate future is again to grow the consumer side of the spray foam business so
Mm-hmm.
that it can keep up with the contractor growth of the spray foam business.
Right.
And we really don't see anyone kind of doing what needs to be done on that end to
Mm-hmm.
make that a reality because you hear everyone all the time, oh, they'll sell a rig to anybody. Oh, they'll sell, all you
Yep.
need is some money. Well, yes, that's true. That's capitalism. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's the country that we live in. And,
Mm-hmm.
if anyone's got a better alternative to that, you can write a, doctoral dissertation on it and we'll go over that. But
We'll
until then,
review it.
yeah, until then, this is how things go. So, like,
Yeah.
how do you combat something that everyone finds to be a problem, which is how
Mm-hmm.
much growth is coming onto the contractor side as well? We're going to need to grow this whole pie. You know what I
Of
mean?
course. Yeah.
So that's our mission. And whether you're a contractor or you work at one of the kind of industry companies, that's what our mission is. You know what I mean? Our
Yeah.
mission is not to help this company beat you or that company, take your business away or something like that. We're here to
Mm-hmm.
grow this pie for everybody.
There is room for everybody. There
Right.
is
And
room
that's,
for
that's
everybody.
where especially like Graco, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
people can say what you want. Just because you speak doesn't mean you're right.
Yeah.
Um, they have invested a lot of time, money, and energy into things that could be argued are against their interests. Because while they're helping us, like they look at it the way we do. We're going to grow this whole pie. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, by default, that's helping your competitors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because not every new contractor that comes into the business is
Yeah.
going to buy a Graco. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not every
Mm-hmm.
new contractor. Everyone's kind of given Lapola. Not everybody, but a lot of people have kind of had their fun things to say about Lapola because of how they supported us. But you know what? They've supported us from the beginning, and not
Yeah.
every new contractor that comes into the group is going to spray Lapola. You know what
Right.
I mean? So like they're
Yeah.
working in spite of all this stuff, in spite of the
Yes.
people that have things to say about them, they still support us.
Yeah.
So we're never going to stop supporting the people that support us. We're only going to ask more people to support us. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just understand that we're not the ones drawing the line in the sand. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The party
Yeah.
is open for everybody. Our
Mm-hmm.
party in at the SPFA show, everybody's welcome. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Everybody is welcome at Spray Foam Worldwide, always.
Yes. And that's how it should be, and that's how, I don't know, that's how it grows, and that's what it needs to do. You can't continue to run stuff without that.
Right.
It has to be part of it. So anybody that is a lot has any kind of, I'd like to say, logic in their head will get that. And if they don't get it, then that's their loss,
Yes, right.
you know?
So, well, let's do.
But
Should we do some like we have some people? Does anyone have any
you
questions?
have, there's like so many people commenting, even Terry Chestnut, even Clemens is welcomed.
Yeah, you see, even but you know what though, and that's the thing is like I knew who Clemens was going to be before I met
Mm-hmm.
Clemens. You know what I mean? And I actually had to like I don't know I don't want to say I like throw down. I don't know what the word is, but like if you don't know Clemens, Clemens was in the Coast Guard, and he actually he just recently discharged. He completed his tour, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he's a civilian again. And so hats off to you, sir.
Yeah.
Um, but somebody tried to like crack a joke about him being in the Coast Guard or something like that, and that's like
Oh,
another one of those things. Listen, I can make fun of my brother, but you can't make fun of my brother. You know what
right.
I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was like miffed when this guy, 'cause he was in the
Yeah.
army, so like I get it that the branches, different branches like to like crack
Right.
their jokes around each other. The Air Force, they ride bikes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
People in the Marines have mental health issues. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they have their gags that they like to say, but like
Right.
now that Clemens is out of the military, he's in like the new military. You know what I mean? So
Right.
he's definitely the weird conspiracy dude who like talks all kind of crap.
Yeah.
But like, but like, if you've met him before, he's a good dude.
He is a good guy, and I knew Clemens from previous employer of mine, and
Hmm.
that is not anymore, thank God. But I remember when it was like one of the first posts he did, and I read it, and I was like, what does he do? What is he doing? He is going to get eaten alive. I messaged him. I'm like, Clemens, like, what are, because I was worried because I thought he's awesome. Like, I don't want him getting, like these guys are going to take him out. And
Yeah,
now it's
well,
like,
you know what though? If it's like anything else.
yeah,
If you give people the chance, they'll show you who they are, and
yeah,
and whether that's a good thing or a bad thing,
right.
you'll find out. But you have given them the
I,
chance, and that's one of the things I'll say to people is
yeah,
that like people are like, you trust too many people. You're too nice to people. And like
yeah,
the thing with me is that like I would rather be wrong about you than wrong about myself. And what that
mm-hmm,
means is if I don't really know you very well and I give you the benefit of the doubt and you screw
yeah,
me, I was
mm-hmm,
wrong about you.
yeah,
But if I don't know you very well and I write you off instantly
yeah,
and you actually end up being a decent person, then I'm wrong
mm-hmm,
about myself. You know what I mean? So like
right.
I'm willing to give you the chance to show me
Yes,
what kind of person you are. And if
right.
I was wrong and I shouldn't have given you the chance, all right, at least I know now and I
Yeah,
won't waste my time with you anymore.
yeah,
But to think that like you could be meeting and interacting with people that could have so much to offer that could be a part of your network and
mm-hmm,
like really kind of enrich your life to
yeah,
think that you could in something that was like the blink of an eye, that's how
yeah,
quickly you decided this person doesn't need to be around you. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah,
You'll never know. And I just don't I don't want to put myself in the position to like miss meeting good people. You know what I mean? Like
right.
that's what we're here for,
Yeah,
to enrich each other's lives. So if I just don't want to be ever the one that like, for whatever reason, just, didn't give someone
Hmm.
the time of day and
Yeah.
should have, because that,
Yeah. It was funny because he posted something recently, and I don't normally, I once in a while I'll comment, but not very often. And I said, this is going to be interesting. This should be interesting or something. Because every time he posts, it's interesting. And somebody came on there, what do you mean by that? And I was like, because every time he posts, it's going to
Who are
be
we still talking about?
interesting.
Clemens?
Clemens, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I don't even remember what happened on that post, but it's always, he's a conversation starter. He just is, and he
Yeah,
gets
he
people
starts a
talking.
conversation like, throwing an M80 into a toilet. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
about how Clemens starts a conversation. He like lights the fuse, stands
Yes, he
there and looks at
does.
everyone in the room, and he's like, "I'm gonna drop this thing."
Yeah.
But again, I mean, I think the dude is like 7 out of 8 on conspiracy theories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just takes
Mm-hmm.
a little while for them to come around, but yeah, he
He's pretty
tends to
accurate.
tends to find
Yeah.
things out somehow.
Yes, he does. He has his
So
ways.
yeah, I don't know.
But yeah,
Anybody
there's
on? Does anyone have any questions
any
for me or
questions.
Carla,
Yeah.
or like just kind of
There's
about spray foam worldwide?
there's a ton of comments, so afterwards we'll have to go
Who wants
through
to know
them,
about
but
Clemens?
yeah.
Yeah, time to get Clemens on the show.
You know what? That's right. Wouldn't that be something? He could sing for us. He can conspiracy theory with us. Like he's got a lot of things to offer.
That would be good. That would be good.
Anybody is
What
welcome
time
on
is it
here.
right now?
So I don't even know. Oh my gosh, we've been on here for a long time. It's 10 to 11 my time, just about.
So that's, what is that? 2 o'clock, 1:40.
Yeah,
So
we've been going for a long
so
time.
basically, almost immediately after we do this, um, yeah, that's what I was about to say. Pretty much right after this, we'll be posting the video to the Spray Foam
Okay.
Worldwide Facebook page. We were going. Bill was thinking about posting it like straight into the group, and then
Mhm.
posting it outside the group. But like
Mhm.
we want people to be able to share it easily, but we also want to be able to collect whatever data we're going to be able to get,
Yeah.
uh, as far as like the metrics of who saw it and how many
Right.
people saw it and how long
Yeah.
they watched it for and blah blah blah. So like,
Right.
we're going to put it onto the Spray Foam Worldwide Facebook page and have that be the native location, at least for right now, so
Okay.
that as it goes around, we can see exactly how many people have seen it. If we post it straight to Spray Foam Worldwide, then it will get seen in the group,
Right.
but no one will be able to share it out of the group. So then we're going to have to put it somewhere else, and
Do you
then
have
that
a
will have to go.
you guys there's a YouTube channel though, isn't are you putting on
We
the
do have
YouTube
a no.
channel?
We have a YouTube channel that I I mean it will end up there, I'm sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's like different um it's almost like different demographics use
Yeah.
different platforms for different things. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like YouTube, um, while there will be like a place for it on YouTube, I really think that like we haven't gotten any more traction anywhere than Facebook has been like the
Right.
spot
Yeah. That's
for
well, you
what
want to be
we're
where your audience is for
talking
sure.
about.
Yeah.
But you can say the same thing like with drumming, like Instagram. That's where that world is. Like there are people who
Right.
have like drumming things on Facebook and stuff like that, but even like the major companies like
Yeah.
Zildjian Cymbals and DW Drums and some of these major companies, you can see
Yeah.
that in their profiles also, where Instagram is where they get all their interaction. They have interaction on
Mhm.
Facebook, but it's just
Yeah.
not there. So it will go out
Yeah.
to everyone through that, and then it
Okay.
will end up on YouTube, because what we want to be able to do is show everybody how to embed the video on their websites, because
Ah,
backlinks,
gotcha.
like there's basically a lot of things that we could be doing as an industry, where something as simple as actually taking the HTML for the video and embedding it in your page will
Mhm.
help it will help that video get more
Right.
views. Whereas if you just take the link and share it, you're going to help it get views, but you're not working with any of the algorithms that are in place
Right.
that decide why something gets viewed or
Yeah.
why something doesn't get viewed. We saw that Bill Bailey meme go viral, which
Mm-hmm.
was crazy. And
Yeah.
that's just an example. I mean, number one, you need content worth sharing, obviously.
Yes.
Something's not going
Yeah.
to go viral if it's not worth watching.
100%.
But when enough people get behind something and put it out there, it will
Yeah.
get out there. So also, don't, keep in mind that you got the scavenger hunt in the video. So when we put the
Yeah.
video up, you're looking for Spray Foam Worldwide logos. There's
Right.
6 of them. You know what? I'm going to shout out to Carlos Moreno, the resident
Right.
Spray Foam Worldwide muse / artist,
Yes. Yeah.
and there's a nod to him in there. It came out really cool. I think everyone's gonna
Oh,
like
very
it and
awesome.
see
I'm
it
excited.
shortly.
I'm excited to see it. So you're gonna put it like after this.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And then tomorrow we're
Awesome.
gonna post another video, which again has more to do with the anniversary and you know um, what we
Cool.
could possibly be giving away or not, but
Or not.
probably no. I mean,
Or
there's
not.
there's some that's what I'm saying. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to say too
Okay,
much.
well, we'll wrap it up then on that
Yeah, so
note.
I
We'll leave
really
everybody hanging.
appreciate doing it. It was a lot of fun.
I am so glad you came on. I am really
I am
thrilled
so
that
glad you're 4 hours behind me because if I had to do 9 a.m. at actually 9 a.m., I don't know if I would have been able to do that.
I
I'm
have
hurting.
done I have done 6 a.m. here to make sure somebody was 9 a.m., but it
I
is what
want to
it
come
is.
out to Vancouver bad.
You
Like I,
should.
I know some people that are from British Columbia and they're just like
Yeah,
it's just like a part of the world that you have to go see just to like
it's
experience
beautiful.
that part. So
Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful province for sure. It's something, and it's best seen in the summer months. So,
I
most
imagine
definitely.
so. It's probably
Yeah,
so yeah, maybe we'll make a special trip up there. That'll be
that
awesome.
would be awesome. Very awesome.
Is there anything going on like a festival or like a something that like,
What
you
do they
gotta
have
come.
going on? Vancouver, they kind of do random stuff. So it's like, they don't do like one big event, right? Like,
Right.
Vancouver is very, if,
Like
if,
my cousin's from Detroit. He works for General Motors
yeah,
and they do the Woodward cruise every year. It's like 3 days over this one weekend. And by
mm-hmm,
us, you'll get a lot of Italian festivals in the summer at the churches. So
right.
like,
Yeah. They
yeah,
do a
I don't
bunch
know.
of different things here too. Like it's a lot of like, obviously right now we were driving through just a kind of a touristy area yesterday, and I was like, oh my god, it's not even July and it's like
Oh
people
wow.
everywhere because the cruise ships come and
They have a name for
they
those
are
people
here.
at the Jersey Shore. The tourists at the Jersey Shore are called shoebies.
Oh, shoebies.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Well,
What?
shoe must have to do with go away. I don't really know, but like
Oh,
there's kind of like a culture of people who live at the shore
oh,
all year,
yeah.
and then Memorial
Yes.
Day comes around, and
Yeah.
all the outsiders flock into the area.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
they're called shoebies.
It's the same as when people live at a lake all year round and then the weekends come and they're
Right.
like, oh, like
Yeah.
they hate
Clean
it.
up
They
your
almost,
trash.
yeah.
Don't leave your trash. Tired of cleaning up after you guys.
Yes. We get the cruise ships that come in the well, they come all year round, but summertime especially. So, I mean, you've
Hmm.
got people from all over the world. So it's a very, when you're sitting on a patio somewhere and you're listening to conversation around you, that's every language going. So it's
Oh
pretty
wow,
interesting.
cool.
Yeah,
All
it's
right. So, all
very
right, Spray Foam
multicultural.
Worldwide class trip to Vancouver.
There we go. We should do it. We should do
All right,
it.
well,
But all right.
thanks for having
Thank
me on, and everybody,
thank
I
you.
guess, what is it? Now, in 10 minutes, check on the, you'll see it go up. It's about 5 minutes
Yeah.
long, and remember not to thank Ken Wells.
Yeah, we don't
Thank
no
Bill.
thanks, Ken Moss. Yeah.
Definitely do not thank Ken at all.
No.
for not all. Yeah, he did a lot.
Way
He
to
did a
go,
lot.
Ken. Way to go.
Yeah.
Like,
Thanks,
thanks for
Ken.
nothing.
Good job,
Thanks for
Ken.
nothing.
Serious. So thanks again,
All
Carla.
right. Thank you,
All right.
Robert. Have a good
Bye,
day.
guys.
And we'll
Thanks for having
answer
me
you
on.
guys later. And we will see you guys next week.
All
Have a
right.
good day. Bye.